I consider myself a documentary photographer, and prior to LIA, I was doing mostly documentary projects about people in third world countries, whether it was health issues, immigrant issues, border issues, such as in Lesbos and in the Texas-Mexican border, or health issues in Cambodia and Vietnam, where I photographed Vietnam soldiers returning to do projects there where they once fought during the war. Then I started to work with LIA. I was referred to her through a friend who trains with her. LIA is a trainer and bodybuilder, and she was in the process of training for a major competition. My original intent was to do this as a still photo project to be hung traditionally on wall in print. And along the way, I was encouraged to make it into a video, and that's how I started making the piece, doing some video in the gym along with the still images to create the piece.
LIA Taylor is a professional bodybuilder in Manchester, Vermont. Susan Weiss, a photographer, met her in June of 2022 when LIA was about to begin training for a professional tournament later that year. LIA agreed to let Susan photograph her during the months-long process of training, culminating in the competition. This is that story.
LIA is a 35-year-old person involved in the fitness industry. She owns a gym where she was training my friend, and my friend referred me to work with her as she was starting her training for a competition. So it was a world that I didn't really know about, working in the gym, training for a competition. It was a sport that I didn't really believe in, didn't like. I knew not much about it. But over the course of the project, which took about 6 months to photograph and then develop, I learned to appreciate her, what she was doing, her commitment to her sport, what notions of female beauty are, which are different for everyone. And in the end, I really admired her. I thought she looked beautiful on the stage. The way she handled her professional approach to this regarding her weight training, her diet control, came across as very professional, very dedicated. I was very impressed working with her. I watch a lot of film, and for this particular project, I was really impressed with the work by Martin Scorsese, specifically his movie Taxi Driver. I think I watched it maybe 8 times while I was doing the project. What impressed me about it was his ability to get to the truth of the issue, the grittiness of the story, the camera angles, the delving into the personalities of the subjects. And it wasn't a pretty story, and I was approaching LIA in the same manner as he did, hopefully, as Taxi Driver. My ideal project and the way I like to work is to embed myself with the character or the protagonist of the story and photograph this person or group of people over many months. So I would need a budget that would include certainly the equipment, the film, the developing, perhaps some travel expenses. So depending on the location of the project, I would need to have it fully funded to make it happen. My ideal project is embedding with a person or a group of people or a community to tell their story. I like to spend long periods of time with them, and I'm looking at various stories now that I would like to use as future projects. One would be telling the story of Indigenous women and through the generations from the grandmother down to the mother, daughter, granddaughter, and how things have changed for them. And this is a project I'm trying to pursue. It's been difficult to break into that community, but I have my fingers crossed. But I think that is at the top of my list for my next project. So for me, making a film is a collaborative process. While I am pushing the project forward, I worked with a team of people to help me make this happen. I had one person in particular who helped me in the studio and organizing and sequencing the photographs. I had someone else who was helping me critique the photographs and also sequencing and how to tell a story. I used a couple ICP photo workshops where I went through the photos and sequenced them there. And on the spot, I was photographing alone, but I had all the support to help me make this. Leah was very easy to work with. She was very cooperative. She actually loves to be photographed, so that was not a problem. The problem was going into the gym every day, and I made a commitment to do that. I think that was really important because it got monotonous at times, and that was difficult because she had a training routine that she kept repeating weekly. So over the course of 5 months, it was a lot. But what happens is over that time period, you get to know each other, trust each other, information comes out or issues come out in the process of photographing that help to tell the story. So the hard part was hanging in there every day in the gym while she's working out. My next project is based on a book that I'm having published by Green Writers Press that's coming out in October 2024 called The Orchard. It was filmed in 2020 to 2022 during the pandemic, and it's a series of abstract images of an orchard through the 4 seasons of a 2-year cycle. And these were all shot with a Polaroid type camera, and they're abstract, out of focus images that I want to make into a experimental movie, and we'll see where that goes.